Yeah. So see how you're just a little bit in here as opposed to here?
Okay.
So you go ahead and adjust your wrist crease. Yeah. See, now the weight's going to fall a little bit more evenly through that wrist. The challenge in down dog for most of us is to press through here. So remember we talked about muscular energy the other day? The reason that our wrists start to bother us in this pose is because the energy drops here. It drops here if you don't push down here. If you push down here, this energy is going to go this way and it'll create a lift here. Everybody follow that? So you push down here, you get this to flow down, and this to lift up. What happens, and Kathy, if you want, you can sit back for a minute. But what happens lots of times, of course, with beginners, you're going to see lots of times, this won't even be anywhere. There's no grounding at all through these three fingers. A little bit, not even much through the thumb. So, of course, I'm going to feel my wrists. I got a lot of weight on them. If I can get this to happen, if I can get the grounding of the fingers, the roots of the fingers, now, when I push into my hand, this energy is going down, and I can feel lift and support through here.
Our fingertips are kind of lightish on it. We're not gripping with our fingertips. Like with
No.
our toes, we're not gripping with our toes. We're just pushing.
Yes, exactly. So think about this, this part of your hand,
Okay.
like the balls of the feet. This is where you want to get the grounding. Okay. So that's one thing. Okay, so go ahead. Okay. Ready.
Sorry, Brian.
Okay, so everybody come to this side. So you can see her arms begin to internally rotate a little too much. So I'm going to take the head of the arm ball. And so I'm trying to get this release of the arm. And then what I would do, straighten this. Yeah, good. Excellent. And then really pushing it out. And then turn the wrist out. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay? So remember we talked about the spirals. Okay, good. Exhale, come down. We talked about the spirals. We worked with it a lot in the legs. We didn't work with it too much in the arms, but it's a little bit different. This inner edge of the deltoid, we want to get it to lift whenever we're doing anything. So if I'm doing Cobra, I want the same thing. I'm doing Cobra, I want to get this energy to feel like it's lifting up rather than rounding forward. See the difference? So this is the position in the head of the arm bone. This is the position in the head of the arm bone. I'm in Chaturanga Dandasana. So that this really creates lift here, rather than letting it roll forward. The reason it comes forward is because we're supporting so much of the pose through these big chest muscles that are tight. We're not getting support from where?
Back.
Back body. So that's why I was having you lift into the upper back there and round your upper back, because those rhomboids and middle trapezius muscles tend to get a little bit weak on us. And that's where we want to be able to feel like we're supporting the pose. That's why we worked with the serratus a little bit yesterday and got the idea of the breath back here. So that when I do dog, when I come into dog, it just happens from the navel center creating a lift. And again, the support starts to come from back here. These muscles don't have to work quite so hard. I push into the roots of the fingers so that I'm not just collapsing into those wrists. So I feel more pressure on the roots of the fingers right now than I do on my wrists. And then I can sort of balance that where it's a little more even. But I want to keep this sense of lift through this part of the arm. The energy goes down, and the muscular energy goes down. I'm going to feel that jamming in the wrist. So go ahead and come back to your